Ahead at 4, a fight involving a guy dressed as the Easter Bunny. News 6 talks to the guy inside that costume, why he says he got involved. It's a weird one. Also at 4, smoke seen for miles at Cape Canaveral. The Crew Dragon capsule suffers a setback. News 6 pushes for answers from NASA and SpaceX. And Democrats debate about whether to push for impeachment of President Trump. We take you to Capitol Hill with the latest on the fallout after the Mueller report. Those stories and much more ahead on News 6 at 4 o'clock. It's only 60 seconds away. Stay with us.
Let's go places. Live, getting results. This is News 6 at 4.
Now at 4, a bunny brawl. A man in an Easter bunny costume caught on camera throwing punches. The video posted on Instagram is now going viral. This is News 6 at 4. I'm Lisa Bell.
I'm Ginger Gadsden.
I'm Matt Austin. Julie is off tonight. So this fight happened in downtown Orlando near SAC Comedy Lab on South Orange Avenue. News 6's Vanessa Ariza spoke to the guy inside the bunny outfit. One of the strangest pieces of video I've ever seen in my life. Vanessa, did he tell you why he got involved in this?
Yeah, Matt, he says he and his friends, they were out for a Sunday fun day here in downtown Orlando yesterday. It was Easter Sunday, so why not bring out the bunny outfit? He said he and his friends were bar hopping. They were going from one to the other when he actually saw a man here along the street. He said spit on a woman. He said he wasn't going to just stand by and let that happen. Downtown Orlando has seen a lot, but this may be a first.
The guy was just basically, I don't know if he was bullying her or what. So then I see him spit on her and she starts hitting him and everything.
To get some laughs, Antoine McDonald and his friends took their traveling bunny suit downtown yesterday. They had just left one bar and were about to go into another when he says he saw everything unfold. He tells us he wasn't going in to continue the fight. Rather, he wanted to break it up.
I was just going in to break it up, but he kept hitting her. So then that's when I made it my problem to, start, hitting him as well.
An Orlando police officer was able to break up the fight. No one was arrested. McDonald and his friends continuing their night. But with thousands of people watching the video, he didn't even know it was taken.
Like I said, I didn't expect it to go that far. I was breaking up the fight.
And this bunny suit, you guys, is kind of like sisterhood of the traveling pants. Antoine McDonald, who you just heard there, said that everybody was wearing it that night, but it just so happened that he was in the costume when all of that went down. He said after all of that, he would do it all over again, just to show that disrespecting anybody is unnecessary and will not be tolerated. So we want to learn more about Antoine McDonald. Who is this guy? We'll share with you where he's from, what he's all about, coming up tonight at 5 o'clock. But for now, live in downtown Orlando, Vanessa Ariza, Getting Results, News 6.
Vanessa, I thought the story was going to get less weird after you explained it. I was wrong. We've posted the viral video on clickorlando.com. You can look inside the story right there on our homepage.
Love the Easter Bunny even more. Well, breaking right now, Sky 6 is live over a crash on State Road 429 in Winter Garden. This is on the southbound side. We're told someone is hurt in this, and there are some roadblocks. The Florida Highway Patrol is investigating. We are making calls to find out more.
New at 4, a fire breaks out inside a home, leaving a large hole in the roof. Orlando firefighters say the fire started around noon today in Cherokee Rose Drive, which is in the Rosemont North area. The man who lives inside the home was not hurt. Firefighters are investigating the cause. Smoke seen for miles along the Space Coast. SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule is believed to be destroyed during a test this weekend. Now, questions linger about the future of a crewed SpaceX mission. News 6's James Barbero is pushing for answers about what went wrong.
This morning, the Kennedy Space Center told us a NASA public affairs officer would talk to us about the accident over the weekend. Later, the Space Center withdrew that opportunity for an interview. So this afternoon, NASA and SpaceX still aren't answering questions about the smoke seen for miles Saturday at Cape Canaveral. The Crew Dragon, previously on pace to become the first spaceship to launch astronauts in Florida since the space shuttle, suffering a setback. It happened during a test.
Something went wrong. We don't know the details.
About the accident, whether Dragon is a total loss, and what this might mean for the mission with astronauts.
Next in line is pretty exciting.
Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley were going to catch their ride to the International Space Station on the Dragon as soon as this summer.
The good thing is it happened without people in the capsule.
Is it likely that this accident pushes back the crewed missions on the Dragon?
That'll be a determination for SpaceX and NASA, but I don't think it would be a surprise to anyone.
A low-quality Twitter video from an unknown source appeared to show the Dragon exploding. It was watched 300,000 times before it was removed. That video has not been verified by NASA or SpaceX, so we're not showing it. Our news partners at Florida Today captured the smoke from the beaches of Jetty Park, and a Space Center guest on a tour bus shared his picture with us as well.
We have not seen any video for SpaceX or gotten any information about the state of the vehicle after this, what they're calling an anomaly, if it even still exists.
On the Space Coast, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results News 6.
Now, to read more about what's next for SpaceX after this weekend's incident, go to clickorlando.com/space.
A fight leads to gunfire at a gas station, and now deputies are hoping one critical clue will help them get crime results. Flagler County investigators say 2 men and 2 women got into an argument last night at the Circle K on Moody Boulevard in Bunnell. They say one of the men shot the other man. The sheriff's office put out these surveillance pictures overnight of the man they are looking for. Deputies say he took off right after firing the shots. We're told the victim is in stable condition at the hospital. Anyone with information about this is asked to call the sheriff's office. Well, they grabbed what they could and rushed to warn their neighbors. Tonight, dozens of families are forced out of their homes by flames.
A building inside a Lake Mary complex caught fire this morning.
News 6's Mark Lehman spoke to the families at the Regency Park condos.
Considering the sheer size of this fire and how much damage was left behind, it's really quite remarkable. Everyone was able to make it out of this building safely. Still, though, dozens have been forced from their homes, and right now investigators are trying to figure out how this fire started. Flames shooting through the roof, lighting up the early morning sky, while people living at the Regency Park condos were sent running for their lives.
I see nothing but smoke. I couldn't see more than maybe 5 feet in front of me.
Taj Nahal says he quickly grabbed what he could, banging on the doors of his neighbors as the fire quickly spread.
So I knew it's gonna go real quick. You know, it's just a matter of time. So just go.
Firefighters say some residents had to be rescued from a stairwell, but every one of the roughly 50 people escaped without injury. A few cats and a snake were also saved.
So then when they brought him out, I was just like, okay. I was like, we're good now. I'm fine. I was like, it's good.
After the fire was put out, this is what the inside of one condo looked like. At least 8 units were damaged in the fire that remains under investigation.
Thank our blessings. You know, I have everybody safe that I have in the house. Everything else can just be rebuilt.
So here's what's happening today. State investigators are taking a closer look at the damage to pinpoint exactly where this fire started and also how it started. Meanwhile, we're told the Red Cross has been called out here to assist anyone who's been affected by the fire. For now in Lake Mary, Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.
Right now, we're working to learn more about the person rushed to the hospital as flames tore through this home here. Investigators say 4 people escaped the house along Tamora Avenue, but 1 person was left with serious injuries. The cause of this fire still under investigation.
New at 4, we are now seeing the apology letter the city of Mount Dora sent out after the police chief made a racially insensitive comment. The city manager, Robin Hayes, sent out this letter to everyone who attended the Mount Dora Heroes Foundation golf tournament on April 12th. It apologizes for Police Chief John O'Grady's insensitive comments he made while presenting an award. He reportedly made a comment about how all Hispanics are the same. Right now, O'Grady remains on paid administrative leave. He did not write the apology letter and declined our interview request. Right now, Democrats are debating over impeachment.
Some want to push ahead, others do not. Ahead at 4, a look at the political fallout following the release of the Mueller report. Tom?
Take a look over my shoulder. The beautiful sunny skies continue into the early evening. I'll be right back to pinpoint overnight lows, tomorrow's daytime high, and where we're going from here. When does the rain make a comeback?
Also ahead, hundreds killed, including Americans. What Sri Lanka officials are now saying about the deadly bombings. That's next at 4. You're watching News 6 at 4, Getting Results. We will be right back. And during the break, we are streaming live on Facebook. Search Lisa Bell News on Facebook right now.
Savings on Edge. Live with Ginger Gadsden, Lisa Bell, Julie Broughton. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells and Meteorologist Candace Campos. This is News 6 at 4, Getting Results.
Well, the terror in Sri Lanka continued today.
Yeah, another bomb exploded while police were trying to defuse it.
Yeah, it happened one day after suicide bombers unleashed a string of attacks targeting Christians celebrating Easter. Today's explosion happened outside a church where a blast killed worshipers yesterday. No one was hurt in this blast, but nearly 300 people were killed yesterday, including at least 4 Americans. Investigators blame a group of Muslim radicals.
This is a very sad moment. This is a very cowardly attack. And it's not just an attack, it's a very gruesome attack on humanity.
Sri Lanka's prime minister says police knew churches might be targets, but still nothing was done to stop the attacks. Right now, at least 24 people are in police custody after special forces raided several places in the capital.
President Trump says he is not worried about impeachment. His comments come as Democrats huddle to figure out next steps days after the release of the Mueller report. Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill with a look at the fallout.
I want to wish everybody a very happy Easter.
President Trump was all smiles at the annual White House Easter egg roll, despite some Democrats' calls for impeachment.
Are you worried about impeachment, Mr. President?
The calls intensified after a redacted version of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report was released last week.
We cannot be an America that says it is okay for a president of the United States to try to block investigations. So I have called on the House to initiate impeachment proceedings.
House Democrats are huddling in a conference call on what to do next.
So far, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has batted down talk of impeachment. She sent a note to Democrats saying that the president can be held accountable without impeachment hearings.
Democrats declined an invitation to see a less redacted version of the Mueller report, though some Republicans are now getting their first look.
To not come here and take advantage of the Attorney General and his offer, to me, says that they're not more worried about what's in the report. They're more worried about actually scoring political points.
Meanwhile, the president is also suing the head of the House Oversight Committee to block a subpoena of his financial records. The lawsuit called the subpoena invalid and unenforceable. Chairman Elijah Cummings responded in a statement saying the president has a long history of trying to use baseless lawsuits to attack his adversaries, but there is simply no valid legal basis to interfere with this duly authorized subpoena from Congress. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, Chairman Cummings issued the subpoena earlier this month to Mazars USA, an accounting firm for the president and Trump Organization. Now, one of the president's lawyers said in a statement, quote, "We will not allow presidential harassment to go unanswered."
And you just saw part of it. President Trump, First Lady Melania Trump welcomed hundreds of families to the time-honored egg roll at the White House. New to the egg roll this year, musical eggs and Be Best hopscotch. Not sure what it means, but it has something to do with hopscotch. The recognition there of the First Lady's Be Best campaign. Children also had the chance to spread kindness by mailing postcards to anyone they choose.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells joining us now. Gorgeous weather over the holiday weekend.
Perfect weekend, man.
Yes.
Well done.
Send me money. Send me money. No, it doesn't work. You can pay me forever. I can't fix the weather.
Well, send me the money.
Send you the money. But it was beautiful,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yes.
Man, it was
awesome.
good stuff. That will continue into the night tonight and actually through the day tomorrow as well. Come on over and take a look at the only downside. Fire danger is starting to come right back in Orange County. We're somewhere near the high to very high range for the fire danger. We dried out just like that. Now, it rained to beat the band on Friday. We had severe thunderstorm warning, one right after another as this big cold front rumbled in. The only problem with that is the air behind it is so very dry, gobbled up all of our moisture. We're back to being super dry now, so we're basically moderate everywhere, but getting high in Orange County. Now, satellite and radar together here, not much to look at close to home. Here's a live radar view of their sweep coming through. On Friday, we had all kinds of things to pinpoint and track, but since then, not a whole lot going on. All the way down to Fort Lauderdale, all is good. Here at home, all is well. What are we doing wind speed wise? Well, the wind is still coming in from the northeast, so it gives it a nice, clean, breathe deep kind of feeling. 3-mile-per-hour wind in Orlando right now. A little stiffer wind along the coast. Cocoa Beach is a 13-mile-per-hour wind, but somewhere in between there is where we all are right now. Here's the Orlando Health camera looking into the heart of downtown. Note the blue sky. Anytime the sky is that blue, that's an indicator that the air is really, really dry. It's picture perfect. Look at that low humidity. Temperature reading is 81. Humidity is 23%. Wind has gone calm downtown, feels like 79. Beachside, been a long time since it was this clear in Daytona Beach. Look at the relative humidity beachside. Even with the wind coming from the east at 9 miles per hour over the water, drops that humidity to 37%. It's really super dry. 77 is the current reading in Daytona Beach. 81 from the Villages to Sanford to 85 in Gainesville. That's the hot spot. The cool spot would be Palm Coast at 75. From here into the night, you take a look at the water vapor loop. Things are not going to change a whole lot on this image. The rust color you see in the dark, that is all indicative of the dry air that brought you that blue sky. So the humidity we were just talking about, that's indicated right there on the water vapor loop. It is so dry. Clouds and rain forecast tonight. Okay, nothing. And I mean just about virtually nothing. A little bit of cloud cover on the coast tonight before tomorrow morning would be the only thing you will notice. Tuesday into Wednesday, still doesn't change much. A little more cloud cover and just a smidge warmer. That's it. Lows tonight, 52 Ocala, 57 Leesburg, 58 in Melbourne, and 57 in Daytona Beach. The overnight low in the City Beautiful is 58. Here's tomorrow. First thing tomorrow morning, a little on the cool side. The temperature is 60. By noon tomorrow, 81. The daytime high gets above normal to 85. Check out the week ahead. We go to a daytime high tomorrow of 85. The overnight low is 62. Then on Wednesday, 85. The overnight low 64. Thursday, all the way to 87. Then on Friday, rain chances kick in at 40%, a high of 85. Same for Saturday and Sunday. So this great weekend we just had was awesome for Easter, but next weekend we will be dodging scattered showers.
All right, good to know. Can't have it all
No, you
the
can't.
time. All right, Tom, thank you. Hey, the hit reality show Survivor looking for its next group of contestants. Casting call will be held this Sunday at Victory Casino Cruises in Cape Canaveral for anyone who thinks you have what it takes to outwit, outplay, outlast, and eat bugs. The casting call runs from 10 until 2. To read about eligibility requirements and fill out the forms you need, just head to clickorlando.com. Look for the link right there on the homepage.
Well, electric power is not just fueling compact cars.
Electric trucks and SUV are getting ready to hit the road soon.
Next at 4, we take you to the New York Auto Show, where companies are showing off the latest green vehicles. Then, all new at 5.
I'm Adriana Ivashinsky with a News 6 investigation. We're taking a closer look at assisted living centers and checking if they're ready for hurricane season and following a new state law.
And when the state dropped this on them, it was catastrophic.
News 6 uncovers why you may not be able to trust the state's data and what local counties are saying about whether your loved ones are safe. Tonight, starting at 5 on News 6.
You're watching News 6 at 4, getting results. We will be right back.
Hey, it is Earth Day, and electric vehicles are seeing a rise in popularity.
Yeah, a new car company hopes to take sales even higher.
Kenneth Craig explains how the company is focusing on trucks and SUVs.
This is not your grandfather's pickup. It can go 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds. And there's no engine under the hood. The Rivian R1T truck and the R1S SUV are powered by electricity.
And they both sit on our skateboard architecture, which puts the battery in the floor.
Rivian is the creation of CEO RJ Scourge, who hopes his unique designs will give the electric auto industry a jolt.
There's a demand for vehicles that you can fit your kids, your gear, your pets, your stuff into. And there's also demand for electrification, so we wanted to put those two together.
Electric vehicles are rising in popularity. Sales jumped last year to over 300,000, but that pales compared to overall auto sales, with gas-powered trucks and SUVs leading the way. Several automakers are responding with e-powered SUVs. The Jaguar I-Pace was just named overall winner of World Car of the Year.
The ability to have an electric SUV is definitely a big thing. Consumers are showing that they want SUVs, particularly crossover SUVs, and that's where we're seeing a lot of growth.
All right. Rivian plans to have its SUV and truck on the market in the fall of 2020.
What you see on the surface here is a really easy to use, basically tile-based system where you can quickly slide between the different tiles.
The Rivian can go about 400 miles on a charge, but this gas-free option comes at a cost. The vehicles will sell for around $70,000. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
I wish we had a camera on your face when they said the price.
Well, I thought he said 70. I thought it was going to be more because that's like a Tesla.
No, well, yeah, but still, but not a Tesla. I mean, that's a lot of money.
But think of all the money you'll save on gas.
Not that much.
Not up front.
Not as much.
Okay, well, it is Earth Day, and while one local city says they are focused on sustainability, one man says not so fast.
Why local leaders won't let him put up solar panels on the front of his house.
And more measles cases. Numbers are jumping to rates we have not seen in decades. What's being done to stop the virus in its tracks? Getting results on News 6 at 4. Keep it here. We will be right back.
Savings on Edge. Live, this is News 6.
New on News 6 at 4:30, the face of tragedy. Tonight, we are getting a first look at the 14-year-old gunned down just one day before Easter. His classmates grieving as they head home from school. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Lisa Bell.
I'm Matt Austin in for Julie.
And I'm Ginger Gadsden. Right now, investigators are doing all they can to track down the shooter. News 6's Jerry Askin is live in Orange County tonight. And Jerry, while investigators try to find the shooter, you're learning more about the teen who was killed.
Ladies and Matt, yes. And right now I can tell you detectives say they're still working to find a motive and find a shooter right now, the person who shot down that 14-year-old boy. This all happening as we're finding out he would have turned 15 next month. And just a very sad story. His family and friends spent Easter Sunday grieving.
It's just really sad to me to see all of the killing that's going on.
Today, family and close friends gave us these pictures of 14-year-old Anthony Reed. I've learned he went to Memorial Middle School and he enjoyed playing basketball. His life was cut short Saturday when deputies said the teen was shot and killed here outside this home on JR Street and Starbright Drive. A teen killed a day before Easter.
It's just a sad thing. 14 years old, the kid had just started living.
Detectives today saying the shooting does not appear to be random, and at last check, they're still working to find a motive. Reed would have turned 15 next month.
He was doing nothing bad and not like that. They were just hanging on that man.
It's a sad reality, a family left without words. Joel Dixon said he prayed for the teen's family at church yesterday, and hearing what happened is heartbreaking.
We just got to come together and just love each other like we used to.
Yeah, and family is planning a vigil for that 14-year-old, we're told, this Thursday. If you can help make an arrest, you're asked to call the Orange County Sheriff's Office right now. Meantime, counselors were at Memorial Middle School to, help out those grieving staff and students in need today. And coming up here all new at 5:30, hear from the teen's principal and her message to parents. We're live in Orange County. Jerry Askin, Getting Results, News 6.
Jerry, thank you.
New at 4:30 now, a fire rips through an apartment complex, forcing people to evacuate. Sky 6 flying over the scene. This is in Winter Park. You can see firefighters on a ladder trying to fight the flames from the roof. This is happening on Key Biscayne Lane. 4 apartments were directly affected by the fire and smoke. It's not clear what started the fire. The man police say is behind a drive-by shooting outside a local middle school is now behind bars. This is a new mugshot of Michael Postel. Melbourne police say the dean of Stone Middle School saw Postel shoot 10 to 12 bullets into a white car across the street from the school last month. Investigators say Postel then followed the vehicle and continued shooting while the victims drove to Palm Bay Magnet High School. The victims then ran inside for cover. One was shot in the arm. The other was hit in the buttocks.
A push to ban plastic straws is growing in New Smyrna Beach. In less than 2 hours, the City Commission will invite the public to sound off on this topic. The ordinance would ban the sale of plastic straws and styrofoam on city property. It takes aim at events like the annual food festival, which was held last week. Supporters say the change would benefit the environment. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 o'clock.
Cy Pazam says he wants to do all he can to make our world cleaner.
We all read about what's happening to the earth and all the pollution, and some of us can do things, others can't. We have the wherewithal to do it, and I wanted to do the right thing.
And he wants to do so by installing solar panels to have his 1949 home in the historic district of Lake Cherokee completely renewable.
So I thought, this would be a nice step forward and set an example for my kids.
However, he says the city won't let him, at least on the one part of his roof he says gets the most sun.
But now they're arguing that it's an eyesore. But the only place that the science shows that they should be placed is in the front of the house.
And he finds it funny that on Earth Day and at a city council meeting where the mayor was touting the city's own goals to be 100% sustainable.
Our 2040 sustainability goals in a globally consistent way to help us advance a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable future for Orlando.
That they denied his request to the panels on the front of his house by only allowing them on secondary panels and in the back. All recommendations from the city's Historical Preservation Board.
And I'm sorry, Buddy Dyer, tried to do what you asked. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was doing it, and I'm told now, no, it's not the right thing.
They said we did approve solar panels anywhere on that property except on that front-facing roof.
And so that last man you heard from was the man on the Historic Preservation Board, Richard Forbes, who says that they offered Pazam options to put the panels in the back of his house. And Pazam says it's just not a fight that he's willing to fight for. In fact, he didn't even appeal for this. And he also says that his neighbors wouldn't mind. We're going to go more into this controversy in my story tonight at 6 o'clock. Until then, we're live in the city of Orlando. I'm Nadine Yanis, getting results, News 6.
Nadine, thank you. Well, Orlando is the worst area for low-income housing availability. That's according to the newest Affordable Housing Gap analysis. Statewide, 22% of renter households are considered extremely low income. That means they earn less than $25,000 for a family of four. Today on News 6 at 9 o'clock, we spoke with the CEO of one local law firm working to get results and help families stay in their homes.
Orlando and Central Florida in particular, with regards to affordable housing, over 60% of the population spends more than 50% of their income on housing. That makes it completely unaffordable. Currently, the big deal is making sure that people can stay in their housing, because it is affordable at some level. It's unaffordable to be homeless.
Sanchez says the best thing people can do is be proactive. That could mean calling a lawyer or asking for help to fix their credit. You can watch her entire interview on clickorlando.com.
A special group of students marking a major milestone. The University of Central Florida is the only school in the state to provide a program for students with intellectual challenges. Today, they recognize their first group of graduates. News 6's Ezzy Castro was at the ceremony.
As we like to say at UCF, go Knights!
The countdown to graduation at UCF is on, and for the big day, 13 students from the Inclusive Education Services program are getting recognized for their hard work before they walk on the big stage. Elise Mundelein is one of them.
Came back here today and be grateful for this. It's amazing.
Elise joined the program 3 years ago. She lived on campus and experienced the college life, but most importantly, learned about leadership and teamwork.
I learned everything here on campus. I do RWC here. I teach Zumba. I'm a SGA, it's called Student Government Association, and did Lecture Commission.
Elise has 2 job interviews set up following graduation, and her mother, Tina, could not be prouder.
Oh, I think for us, it's been a long time coming. I think our involvement with UCF is so far-reaching, and we're so grateful. I just want to thank UCF for giving us this opportunity.
All students were able to get their graduation stole as well as their cap and gowns for the big day, a big milestone they will never forget.
We did it! Yes, we did it! Again! Yes, we did it! Yes, we did it!
Yes! And something that these group of students learned throughout the program is that the sky is the limit. They want to carry that message for other future students who want to be part of this same program. And this group, they're going to be getting their certificate on May 3rd. At UCF, Ezzy Castro, getting results, News 6.
Well, still to come, the measles outbreak getting even worse.
Yeah, why doctors say the problem could get worse before it gets any better. Tom.
Take a look over my shoulder. Here's radar, the sweep going through and not picking up much. Things have certainly changed since Friday. How long does the good weather last? I'll pinpoint the return of rain in minutes.
You can always be the good in the world. It doesn't matter how small the initiative is.
How one little girl is using sandwiches to spark hope and get results in her community. You're watching News 6 at 4:30, getting results. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Papa John's. Live with Ginger Gadsden, Lisa Bell, Julie Broughton. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells and Meteorologist Candace Campos. This is News 6 at 4. Getting results.
A Florida soldier is dead following a freak skydiving accident. Officials say Justin Goff jumped from a plane in North Carolina yesterday morning when somehow high-speed winds caused him to come down wrong. The 29-year-old Florida native was stationed in Fayetteville.
Measles cases are approaching numbers the U.S. has not seen in 20 years. Just last week, we told you there was a new case in Florida. Now, more than 70 other new cases are being reported nationwide. Hillary Lane reports on what doctors are doing to try and stop the virus from spreading.
Disease starts in the early.
Pediatrician Dr. Jeffrey Abner is on the front lines of a measles outbreak that's showing no signs of slowing down.
When you see a disease that is preventable with vaccination, it is somewhat disheartening.
Maimonides Medical Center in Brooklyn has treated 9 cases of measles so far, including an adult and a child who ended up in the intensive care unit.
Parents don't really understand the risks of measles because they haven't seen measles, because it has become such a rare disease. But measles does have very serious complications. 1 in 20 children with measles get pneumonia, which, by the way, is the most common cause of death.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is now reporting 626 cases of the highly contagious virus in 22 states, the second highest number of cases reported since measles was declared eliminated in 2000. Most of the New York cases have occurred in unvaccinated people in Orthodox Jewish communities. Doctors across the country are also fighting against an anti-vaccine movement among some parents.
They're getting information from sources that are incorrect, that are trying to sell them on ideas and studies that were fraudulent and debunked.
Dr. Abner says if people stay unvaccinated, the measles could continue to spread. Hillary Lane, CBS News, Brooklyn, New York.
It could be the most important week yet in News 6's push to get results and drive change. Both the State House and Senate have distracted driving bills that might get voted on the floor of each chamber. But there are major differences between the two proposals. The Senate's bill would make Florida a hands-free state, while the House version only focuses on texting while driving. Governor DeSantis says he would support stricter laws as long as they're consistently enforced. So now would be a great time, if you're interested in this, to contact your local lawmakers to have your voice heard about texting and driving. We posted a list of your local representatives and how to get in touch with them on clickorlando.com/drivingchange. Speaking of hitting the road, Trooper Steve is helping keep drivers safe. He explains what you need to know when it comes to motorcycle riders traveling together.
Susie of Orlando asked, can 3 motorcycles ride next to each other in a single lane? I think Susie already knows the answer to this, but this graphic shows, or this picture really shows how you should be a safe motorcycle rider, and Florida law only allows 2 motorcycle riders to ride next to each other in one single lane. Now, your average travel lane's only about 12 feet wide, so you don't want to put too many motorcycles next to each other. And when vehicles are traveling, where are all those fluids dropping? Right in the center. So you really don't want to have a motorcycle traveling in that center lane. So it's only the A and B travel lane right in the center of travel lane. Anything more than that, you could be cited.
Ask Trooper Steve is sponsored by Alert Today, Florida. Every pedestrian and bicyclist is important to someone, so stay alert because safety doesn't happen by accident. If you have a question you want to ask Trooper Steve, go to clickorlando.com/asktroopersteve.
Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells joins us now. If you could just put this weekend on repeat, and then you could take a vacation and just let it play.
I would do that, but you know how many people would move here then?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Way too many.
We couldn't get rid of them. It's bad enough as it is.
Yeah, we all got here as fast as we could.
I did. Giddy up.
Yeah.
Take a look at what's going on. Not that I want them to stop coming totally.
Yes.
I just don't want the influx to be, quit wrecking my road. Hey, take a look at what's going on. Weather story for tonight, clear and cool. I wouldn't go so far as to call it cold, but it's cool. During the day tomorrow, dry, sunny, getting just a little bit warmer every day all the way through Thursday. Thursday's daytime high, Some of you might approach 90. Seriously, we're going to at least 87. Then on Friday, it all changes. Scattered storms do return on Friday with rain chances clocking in at about 40%. Satellite and radar together here, you see the activity building. Cloud cover's out there, but it's not very thick. Big ridge of high pressure is parked on top of us. Wind flows from the northeast, so you may have a little smattering of clouds building up along the coast. That would just about do it. Blue sky has kind of been the number of the day. Here we go to radar tonight, zooming out. No rain anywhere from Houston to Orlando, all the way down to Miami tonight. We're dry and good to go. So wind speed and direction, okay, for the most part from the northeast at about 9 to 10 miles per hour, only a 5-mile-per-hour wind in Sanford and down to 3 at OIA, an 8-mile-per-hour wind right now in Kissimmee. Temperatures all across the country. Here's the important thing. Look at how warm it is all the way up to the Great Lakes. Look at Columbus, Ohio, 70. Chicago, wow, 79, even 67 in Detroit City. 80 degrees in Atlanta, 80 degrees in Miami. And there's the blue sky on the Orlando Health camera. Temperature reading at news time is 81 and the wind, calm. Humidity low at 23%. Beachside today has been beautiful. Temperature reading is 77. Humidity 37%. 70s or 80s all over. The hot spot is Gainesville at 85. Water vapor loop shows you how dry things are and will continue to be into the night tonight. The only thing we'll notice is with the onshore flow, a touch of cloud cover does build up, but it's not going to rain, at least not until the end of the week. Between now and Thursday, everything looks great. Your lows tonight are in the 50s all over, 57 in Sanford, 54 in the Villages. In Orlando tonight, 58, clear and cool. Here's tomorrow.
Your forecast brought to you by your Central Florida Honda dealers.
Okay, your daytime high tomorrow goes to 85, mostly sunny. Check out the week ahead. Tomorrow's daytime high is 85. The overnight low is 62. Come Wednesday, 85. Thursday, 87. Then kaboom! For Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we will be dodging scattered showers.
Tom, thank you. By the way, make sure to check out our new podcast, Florida Foodie. It explores the big picture of food here in Florida. This week, Candace Campos is talking with two groups looking to break a world record to get results for the health of people all across Central Florida. You can check it out on cliporlando.com/podcasts. Well, a little girl proving one person can make a big difference.
It makes me feel really happy that I'm helping people and to see their smile.
What a cutie, how she is getting results for the homeless.
And coming up at 5, homes that take care of your loved ones, responsible for their safety during Florida hurricanes, but who's really prepared? Our News 6 investigation, all new at 5.
Get Click-O on the go. Top stories and weather in less than 2 minutes. Find out at News 6 WKMG on Snapchat and Instagram.
The hit reality show Survivor is looking for its next group of contestants. I just like this music. A casting call will be held this Sunday at Victory Casino Cruises in Cape Canaveral. It runs from 10 in the morning until 2 that afternoon. You can learn more by heading to clickorlando.com and look for the link. It's right on the homepage. Well, most little girls spend their weekends having fun outside with their friends, right?
But an 8-year-old in Orlando has made it her mission to spark hope one sandwich at a time.
With the support of her family, she is getting results with care packages for homeless people in downtown Orlando. News 6's Carolina Cardona gives us a closer look.
Are you hungry?
That's Lucy.
Yes, ma'am.
With a wagon full of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
We have about 80 sandwiches.
And a few other things that are bringing smiles of hope to the homeless.
Brownies, we have toothpaste, and then toothbrushes, and we have waters down here.
She's been pulling that wagon for 2 years now around Lake Eola in downtown Orlando.
It makes me feel really happy that I'm helping people and to see their smile.
Thank you.
Her gesture of solidarity began in 2017 after her mom made a donation at a pet store.
They asked if we wanted to donate one of their little stuffed animals to a child in need.
That sparked Lucy's curiosity.
When we got to the car, she wanted to know, Mommy, what's a child in need? And I said, well, there's some children that don't have things like we do. And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, some children are foster children and they may need a little our help getting stuff.
A realization that broke her heart.
And that made her very sad. So she started asking more questions and she was crying by the end and I was crying. So in that moment, I just asked her, I said, Lucy, do you want to do something good?
Right away, Lucy got to work and started the Spark Hope initiative.
She makes stuff. She makes dog biscuits and she sells them at our store. She also makes some handmade earrings that she sells, and all the money that she makes from all of that, she goes and she purchases the items that we give out.
Items like
shampoos and conditioners and just the general toiletries that we thought they might need. But we have found out the things that they really want. They really want toothbrushes, they really want toothpaste, razors, shaving cream.
Alongside her sisters and mom, she's getting results for those less fortunate. A heartwarming experience for the family.
You can always be the good in the world. It doesn't matter how small the initiative is, just doing something good for somebody else, putting a smile on somebody else's face, it can make a world of difference to them.
What an amazing little girl.
That balances out some of our horrible stories we do.
Absolutely.
I love stories like that. What a great little
Good
girl.
kid, good mom, too, though, to support that. A lot of parents would be like, you want to do this every weekend? So
Doing a lot of good.
Yeah, good
Awesome.
kids don't grow on trees for sure. They're raised that way. Well, now to an odd break-in in South Florida.
So it was not a burglar.
It was a 600-pound gator. While heading back to their station, Miami firefighters spotted this 10 to 12-footer in a crosswalk. It scurried off and broke through a fence in someone's yard.
Ooh.
There it is, death roll in there.
That's
Trapper
not scurrying.
tried to tie it up. No, that's hard for that big fella to scurry anywhere, you're right. But it was raining and it was just too slippery to remove, so the trapper had to tranquilize it, and they eventually got it. But look at the size of it compared to the guy.
He's huge.
All right, speaking of wild animals, ahead at 5, a close encounter with a big cat. Wildlife officers getting results on the road. The Florida panther needing rescuing.
Live, getting results. This is News 6 at 5.
Now at 5, a mishap on the pad. SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule explodes. What happened?
Plus, you think they're safe, but are they hurricane ready?
But that is the nightmare that we're facing right now.
News 6 investigates safety in local assisted living centers.
First, though, an Easter Bunny beatdown. Viral cell phone video shows a fight getting out of control. Now we're hearing from the guy behind the mask. This is News 6 at 5. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. This happened yesterday near SAC Comedy Lab in downtown Orlando. News 6's Vanessa Ariza spoke with that man dressed up like the Easter Bunny. And Vanessa, he told you he was only trying to help.
That's right, Lisa. He says he and his friends were bar hopping here in downtown Orlando yesterday wearing the suit. He said he noticed across the way a man and a woman. He was watching their interaction. He said there's just something wasn't right about it. He said then he witnessed the man spit on that woman. He said he couldn't stand for that.
I got it all, bro.
Antoine McDonald will tell you he is not one to jump into a fight.
I would say I'm the type of person to avoid fight by any means necessary. But in that situation, I would fight any day.
A few months ago, he and his friends bought the bunny suit to garner some laughs. He brought it out for Easter Sunday, but never thought it would land thousands of views on social media.
Buddy, chill.
He was wearing it last night when he got into the middle of a fight along Orange Avenue, close to Saks Comedy Club.
The guy was just basically, I don't know if he was bullying her or what. So then I see him spit on her, and she starts hitting him and everything.
McDonald didn't know the woman or the man involved, but he said he won't tolerate disrespect towards women. So he jumped in to try to break it up.
I'm going to say I'm happy. So people know that they can't, just spit on African Americans, especially African American females, and think that it's okay.
Like, I was shook, like, when I seen him, like, spit on her. I was like, yo, you gotta go over there, you gotta do something about it.
An Orlando police officer broke up the fight and told everyone to go their separate ways. The fear of arrest did cross McDonald's mind.
The thought went through my head when the cop came over, but, I didn't leave, I didn't run. I said, you know what? This man deserved it. If I have to be arrested for this, to prove a point that this shouldn't be happening, then so be it.
And McDonald said he didn't even know that someone recorded what was happening yesterday. He said his friends were too much in shock to even take their phones out and get a video recording. Is sent to him about everything that happened yesterday. Before that, he said he had no idea. Live in downtown Orlando tonight, Vanessa Araiza, Getting Results, News 6.
Crazy story, Vanessa. Thank you.
Now at 5, a mystery on the pad. Questions after SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule blew up over the weekend. Smoke could be seen coming from the Space Center, leaving many asking us what happened. News 6's James Sparvero went to get answers and results.
Is it uncharacteristic for SpaceX to wait this long to give us an update?
No, they'll figure it out and then they'll inform people as they choose.
And this morning, we believed we would get an official update on the Crew Dragon's accident. Then the Kennedy Space Center told us a NASA public affairs officer would not be speaking to us. It's been 2 days since the smoke filled the sky above Cape Canaveral. What may have been an explosion, potentially damaging the spacecraft that's expected to return astronauts to space from our space coast.
We've had explosions in the past. We're going to have explosions in the future. Let's just hope they continue to be without people on board.
To learn all that we can in preparation for our upcoming crewed flight.
Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley are the astronauts now expected to possibly wait longer before they fly on Dragon. After last month's successful launch, docking with the International Space Station, and splashdown in the Atlantic, next up for Dragon to achieve a human-rated certification is to pass the emergency in-flight abort test.
Obviously, with that vehicle, we think destroyed. I say we think because SpaceX hasn't confirmed anything about the status of the vehicle. The in-flight abort test certainly is going to slip, and with it, we think, the first piloted flight of this new capsule.
If and when NASA or SpaceX does provide some new information, we will share that with you right here on News 6 and clickorlando.com. At NASA's Kennedy Space Center, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results, News 6.
And you can read what's next for the Crew Dragon after the weekend failure right now at clickorlando.com/space.
New body cam video shows an accused carjacking suspect surrendering to police. Sanford police say early this morning, Montarius Burton stole a guy's truck. Here's the moment he was caught hiding in that wooded area. A canine tracked him down. Investigators say it all happened along Country Club Drive and Jefferson Boulevard. Police say the victim was working on the truck when Burton just jumped in. The victim jumped in and tried to fight him off. A canine tracked Burton down. He faces a bunch of charges, including robbery and carjacking.
New developments in a series of Easter terror attacks overseas. 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels hit by suicide bombers in Sri Lanka.
Nearly 300 people were killed. 4 of them were Americans. Anchor Ginger Gadsden is live in studio with details. Ginger.
Just awful, Matt and Lisa. This was the deadliest day since Sri Lanka's devastating civil war ended in 2009. The island nation is now in a state of emergency. 24 suspects have already been arrested. Investigators blame a local Islamist extremist group for the attacks. It's still unclear if the group had help from an international terrorist organization. Now, President Trump called Sri Lanka's prime minister. He vowed to help bring the people who did this to justice. Tonight, there are questions after reports say a warning from intelligence leaders was given days ahead of the attacks. The prime minister says that they are investigating why no actions were taken. The president of Sri Lanka has declared tomorrow a national day of mourning. The military has also been given sweeping powers that have not been used since the Civil War. Matt and Lisa.
Ginger, thank you. A fight leads to a shooting outside a gas station. Now deputies hope to get crime results catching the shooter. It happened last night along Moody Boulevard at the Circle K. Deputies put out this photo of the man they are trying to identify. Investigators say he took off right after firing the shot. The victim was taken to the hospital in stable condition. If you recognize this man, call the sheriff's office.
Well, could bombs be dropping over Marion County this week? The U.S. Navy is conducting some tests. They say people living in Marion, Volusia, and Lake counties should be aware. Naval Air Station in Jacksonville is conducting the live bomb training in the Ocala National Forest. Training is happening from 9 to 1:30, then again from 3 to 4 p.m. The testing is happening until Thursday. For more information, head to clickorlando.com. Veterinarians feared he would not survive.
But tonight he is pushing through and defying the odds. We first told you about Maverick last week at 11. Orange County Animal Services found him and discovered he had been shot by a pellet gun. The group at Tails Rescue Ranch jumped in to get results and help Maverick. They said he had lung issues and an infection. Last week, doctors and staff removed fluid from his lungs and gave him antibiotics. Right now, no one has been arrested for shooting Maverick. Over the weekend, the group said he was showing signs of strength and was eating well. The center says he will stay where he is until doctors can remove the tubes from his chest. They also thank everyone for their support during his recovery. And community support is also getting results for other animals tonight.
Saturday, News 6 helped get results for the pet shelter at Harbor House of Central Florida. The shelter is open to domestic violence survivors, so their pets have a safe place to stay too. Justin Warmoth and reporter Eric Sandoval were out there for the Paws for Peace walk. We saw a bunch of people out there at Blue Jacket Park too. It was a big success. Between our phone bank a couple of weeks ago and Saturday's walk, we've helped raise more than $62,000. This is far above the target goal and makes this our best year yet.
That's wonderful news.
That is what we call getting
Money will
results
go a long
around
way.
here. That's right. Well, some terrifying moments on the tracks.
A woman rushing to get on board is suddenly dragged. New at 5, the surveillance video and how that woman is doing tonight. Tom?
What's going on the satellite tonight? We've got big clouds way out west and not much happening here. I'll be right back to pinpoint the warm-up and how much heat we have coming for the rest of the week.
First tonight, though, safety in assisted living centers. Is your loved one in good hands when hurricane season arrives?
It's tough out here. It's tough.
News 6 investigates if all local centers are ready for the next big storm. You're watching News 6 at 5, getting results for you on this Monday. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Subway.
Total savings on Edge.
Live with Matt Austin, Lisa Bell. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells, Meteorologist Candace Campos. Special reports from the investigators and getting crime results with Eric Von Enken. This is News 6 at 5, getting results.
Hard to believe, but hurricane season is about a month away now. A News 6 investigation reveals some homes that care for your loved ones are still waiting for crucial equipment.
This equipment is needed to keep facilities cool if the power goes out. News 6 investigator Adriana Ivashinsky joins us now in studio with more. And Adriana, you discovered the state's data on which places are approved and ready to go may be misleading.
Yeah, I discovered you really need to do your research here. Right now, nursing homes and assisted living centers must be compliant in 3 separate areas. They must have an emergency power plan, they must have backup generators, and they must have enough fuel to run those generators for 96 hours. That's 4 days. Now, Florida's Agency for Healthcare Administration has a website that tracks these homes and centers' readiness. But I've learned that just because the website says a facility is compliant, it does not mean they have the necessary equipment.
Our new fire panel, everything's been rewired according to code.
Jennifer Brown is the administrator at Alabama Oaks of Winter Park, an assisted living facility that can house up to 19 people and that just reopened this month.
So this is our CEMP.
Brown allowed us in to check if they're prepared for the next big storm.
You guys are ready. We're ready. We are 100% ready, and I am happy and proud to say that.
Okay.
That included buying a brand new generator and creating a new emergency power plan to go with it.
Nice generator, take on the whole facility.
Brown says she has no problems with the state mandated guidelines.
Ultimately, the safety of your residents is what's priority.
Alabama Oaks is one of more than 3,000 assisted living facilities that are currently licensed in the state, and one of 3 we visited to check on their status. Over at Excellent Senior Living Center in Orlando, the administrator refused to talk on camera, but did confirm the 185-bed facility is still missing a permanent backup generator, and state records show it was approved for an extension. We also went over to Oasis National Assisted Living Facility in Apopka, where the staff there allowed me in without a camera to see their emergency power plan and new generator. But they admit they are still waiting for a transfer switch to go in. According to AHCA, 100% of the state's nursing homes and almost 98% of the state's assisted living facilities are in compliance with the new state law. But that compliance really just means they submitted an emergency power plan or extension, not if they have all the equipment in place. News 6 dug a little deeper and discovered only about 86% of the state's nursing home and assisted living centers have been approved.
I'm deathly concerned.
Emergency planning consultant Bob Misko has helped hundreds of assisted living facilities come into compliance and says smaller facilities are really hurting, trying to meet the new power plan guidelines, since both the cost of the equipment and installation can add up to tens of thousands of dollars.
It's tough out here. It's tough. They're not making any money. They're living from paycheck to paycheck. And when the state dropped this on them, it was catastrophic.
Now, we focused on assisted living centers, but that same rule applies to nursing homes as well. And if you look online, most facilities have filed for at least one extension to give them more time to get their backup equipment in place. So if you really want to get results for your loved one, you need to not just call, but visit the facilities and ask to see their emergency power plans and equipment. Any good facility will have no problem showing it to you. And if they don't, that's a big red flag.
And Adriana, these regulations, it's not something that the state just dropped on them. They are pretty important because they came about after 12 people died after Hurricane Irma when the storm came through and knocked out power to their facility.
That's right. Governor Rick Scott at that time put this into play, and that falls under the state and its inspectors to make sure that this happens. Now, counties and their emergency management teams, they can sign off on the facility's plan, but they don't enforce it if they are following it. So coming up tonight at 7, we will show you some safety concerns that have been brought forward to a few fire marshal's office in the area involving the installation of some of this equipment, and why both counties and the state are having to inspect these installs of these mandatory generators. It's big stuff.
Yeah, and it really could mean the difference between life or death if a
Yes.
hurricane comes through and they lose power.
As it has been proven.
Yeah.
These loved ones that died, it got too hot in this nursing home. They didn't have the power, the backups didn't work.
Lots of
And they were
machines need to
calling
be
for
working.
help and nothing happened.
And
These
we've
people
seen it.
just
People
died.
getting transferred. You can't take a risk in this.
And now they're running out of time before hurricane season gets here.
Yeah.
They need to be prepared.
Every second is
All right.
crucial.
Adriana, thank you. Hey, do you think you have what it takes to outwit, outplay, and outlast all the others? The hit reality show Survivor. Looking for its next group of contestants, a casting call will be held this Sunday at Victory Casino Cruises in Cape Canaveral. Runs from 10 until 2. Read the requirements, fill out the needed forms at clickorlando.com. Just look for the link right there on the homepage.
I used to really want to do that, man.
Well, you should. You know, you only live once.
Well, they can't. You can't work here and do that.
Can't
too.
take that much time off, yeah.
Well,
You're not allowed.
I think I could get voted out pretty early.
Chief Meteorologist Tom Stroh's joining us now today. Earth Day, also your birthday.
Happy birthday, my friend.
Indeed, it's my birthday.
Yes.
It's also Candace Campos' little baby girl's birthday.
Aw.
2 years ago, she stole my birthday.
Oh.
So yes, it's my birthday.
She is a little
but
cuter than you are.
That's what I'm saying. So my birthday's
Can't
not my
compete.
birthday anymore. It belongs to some child. But yes, thank you very much. It's good to be alive.
Well, we're glad you're here, especially
you.
on days like today when the weather is so perfect.
How perfect could this be for Earth Day?
Right?
It's nice. And take care of yourself and the Earth. Daytime high today hit 83 degrees on this Earth Day. Normal high is 84. We almost got there. The record on this date is 94 from back in 1970. Oddly enough, that right there, that's the first Earth Day. Did you know that?
Oh, cool.
Earth Day was created in 1970. There you go. It was 94 degrees. That's the record on this date here in Orlando. The overnight low this morning was 54. The normal overnight low is 61. The record on the date is 44. Way back there, 1910. Temperatures across the southeast tonight is 82 in Nashville, Tennessee, 78 in Pensacola, 78 in Jacksonville, 78 in Tampa, 79 in Miami. It's 81 in Orlando, Melbourne. We're clocking in at 77 degrees in southern Brevard County. This is I-4 downtown. Aren't you glad you can see me? You're not stuck in that? Ocala, 81 degrees, wind from the north at 6. Hot spot right now at news time is 84 in Gainesville, 77 Cocoa Beach, 76 at the Cape, 80 in Sanford, 81 right now in Kissimmee. Wind speed and direction has determined a lot in the last 24 hours. The northerly flow has really cooled us out. It's been great, good to be outside. Kind of exhilarating really, but now in Orlando things have gone calm, looking good. Visible satellite image tonight, we're looking for cloud cover, and you do see some cloud cover over the open waters of the Atlantic and some cloud cover way back out west, but there is nothing on top of us tonight. So we have nothing on radar either. As we zoom out, look around, no radar echoes to track, and there will not be for days on end. Water vapor loop tonight shows you just how dry things really are. The darkness of the rust color here, that's all the dry air. That's indicative of what we're going to be staring at tonight and tomorrow. A little onshore flow tomorrow brings in a touch of cloud cover on the coast, but between now and Thursday, not much changes, just passing really high clouds. Lows tonight mostly in the 50s. In Orlando, 58. Here's tomorrow.
Your forecast brought to you by Napleton Chrysler Jeep Dodge.
Chilly in the morning, but by noon, 81. The daytime high, 85. Here is the week ahead. We go to a daytime high tomorrow of 85 degrees with sunshine. Come Wednesday, still 85. Then on Thursday, warmer, 87. We start dodging scattered showers for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, birthday boy, thank you very much. Hey, a big cat near the highway.
The quick response and how wildlife officers got results.
Plus, new at 5:30, a new piece of technology is getting results for some of the most vulnerable patients at one area hospital. Find out how it's protecting those newborns from the bacteria and germs we all carry around every day.
Two big overnight closures. First one's going to be northbound Turnpike right at Osceola Parkway. We see this closure happening quite often. Your alternate exit there to Osceola Parkway, head west, and then north on 441, which is Orange Blossom Trail. Get you right around that. Also, eastbound I-4 right at Maitland Boulevard, scheduled to be closed tonight. Follow the detours, and that will get you continue eastbound from there. Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. I'll catch you in the morning.
Leaders out west promise a full investigation after a terrifying moment on the tracks. Surveillance video appears to show a woman get her hand caught in the door. She's then dragged under the train. I'm going to warn you, this video, pretty hard to watch, but here it is. It was acquired by the San Francisco Examiner. Shows the woman, she calls for help after getting her hand caught in the door. She then is tossed under the train. Ugh. Paramedics say she had a large gash. You can see right there is where it happens. And then she just kind of disappears from the video. She had a big gash on her head. San Francisco leaders recently bought new train cars, which were the ones used in this accident. So the company that makes the trains promises they're safe, says they have been tested over the last 6 months, but certainly something going on there.
Florida Fish and Wildlife officers are getting results corralling a big cat. The Florida panther was trapped on the wrong side of a highway fence in Collier County, that's in southwest Florida. They say a group of officers stopped traffic and worked to slowly get the cat to safety. A driver alerted officers after seeing it. And according to FWC, there are only 120 to 230 adult panthers still in the wild in the state. So if you do happen to see one, certainly if you see one in trouble, you need to call FWC right away.
Yeah, you need to be very careful with them because there are so few left. Ginger Gadsden joins us now with what's next at 5:30.
Coming up at 5:30, the Red Cross is helping out after an early morning fire. Dozens of people woke up to smoke and flames this morning. We spoke with a man who worked to alert his neighbors to the danger. Next.
Live, getting results. This is News 6 at 5:30.
Now at 5:30, early morning flames chased dozens of people out of their homes. Hear from the man who woke up his neighbors, helping get them to safety.
First, though, investigators want to find whoever shot and killed a middle school student. We learned the 14-year-old was a student at Memorial Middle School. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Ginger Gadsden. The boy was found shot on Saturday night. Deputies were called to the intersection of JR Street and Starbright Drive near the mall at Millennium. Witnesses tell News 6 they tried to help the boy before first responders arrived, but he did not make it. News 6's Jerry Askin is following this story. He joins us now live from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And Jerry, have deputies told you anything about a motive in this case?
Ginger, at this time, no, and right now we're pressing investigators to release more, but deputies today did say the shooting does not appear to be random. This all happening as the family of that 14-year-old boy spent Easter weekend grieving. Right now, family and close friends are heartbroken and trying to make sense of tragedy. 14-year-old Anthony Reed's life was cut short Saturday. His family spent Easter Sunday grieving. Investigators said he was shot here on Starbright Drive in JR Street.
It's just a sad thing. 14 years old, the kid had just started living.
I've learned Reed went to Memorial Middle School and he enjoyed playing basketball. Detectives say they're still working to find a motive, but told News 6 the shooting is likely not random. Reed would have turned 15 next month. Joel Dixon said his son played basketball with Reed.
He knows the kid, and we just so sad to see things like this just keep happening over and over again.
Counselors today were at the teen's school to assist grieving staff and students. His principal sent this message to parents.
Last night, I was made aware that one of our students passed away yesterday. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family.
Yeah, very depressing and a very sad story. Right now, if you can help make an arrest, you can call the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I guarantee you the family and detectives here would appreciate if you know anything. Meantime, right now, family, they are planning a funeral for the 14-year-old on Thursday. We're live in Orange County. I'm Jerry Askin, getting results. News 6.
Let's hope someone knows something, Jerry. Thank you. And we've been following this investigation since it first started. You can find our coverage, including the recording that went out to the parents and students of Memorial Middle School, all on clickorlando.com.
The flames ripped through the roof of a home this afternoon. Sky 6 flew over the house on Cherokee Rose Drive as crews were mopping things up. You can see the hole left behind from that fire. Here's a view of the damage from the ground. First responders tell us no one was home at the time. No one was hurt. The Red Cross is helping the guy who lives there. The cause of the fire is under investigation tonight. The Red Cross also helping people who lived in this apartment complex. Seminole County Fire shared this video of the flames. This was this morning. The people living here were woken up by someone who was banging on their doors, trying to warn them about the danger. News 6's Mark Lehman spoke with the guy who worked to get results for his neighbors.
Considering the sheer size of this fire and how much damage was left behind, it's really quite remarkable. Everyone was able to make it out of this building safely. Still, though, dozens have been forced from their homes, and right now investigators are trying to figure out how this fire started. Flames shooting through the roof, lighting up the early morning sky, while people living at the Regency Park condos were sent running for their lives.
I see nothing but smoke. I couldn't see more than maybe 5 feet in front of me.
Taj Nahal says he quickly grabbed what he could, banging on the doors of his neighbors as the fire quickly spread.
So I knew it's gonna go real quick. You know, it's just a matter of time. So just go.
Firefighters say some residents had to be rescued from a stairwell, but every one of the roughly 50 people escaped without injury. A few cats and a snake were also saved.
So then when they brought him out, I was just like, okay. I was like, we're good now. I'm fine. I was like, it's good.
After the fire was put out, this is what the inside of one condo looked like. At least 8 units were damaged in the fire that remains under investigation.
Thank our blessings. You know, I have everybody safe that I have in the house. Everything else can just be rebuilt.
So here's what's happening today. State investigators are taking a closer look at the damage to pinpoint exactly where this fire started and also how it started. Meanwhile, we're told the Red Cross has been called out here to assist anyone who's been affected by the fire. For now in Lake Mary, Mark Lehman, getting results, News 6.
More than a month after a shooting put 2 schools on lockdown, police say they have the man responsible. We first told you here on News 6 at 5:30. Melbourne police were looking for Michael Postel. He was booked into the Brevard County Jail on Saturday and remains locked up tonight. Investigators say on March 4th, Postel shot at 2 people who were inside a car near Stone Middle School. The victims managed to get away and drove to Palm Bay Magnet High School for help. Both victims survived.
In a little less than an hour, people living in one community get their chance to sound off on a proposed noise ordinance. Winter Springs leaders are proposing an amendment to the current rules, preventing people from using power tools between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. City officials tell us this comes after they've received several complaints in the Tuscaloosa area of people using power tools at 6 o'clock in the morning. Tonight is the first reading of the ordinance, and public input is encouraged, we hear, so the meeting gets started at 6:30 at City Hall. Another city in our area is considering a big rule change. Tonight, New Smyrna Beach is laying out its plan for a proposed ban on single-use plastics. The ban, if passed, would not affect private businesses in the city. It would be only applied to contractors and vendors on city property, for instance, food trucks set up on city-owned land there. City leaders are sharing their plan for the single-use plastic ban in less than half an hour at 6 o'clock in the City Hall Commission chambers. First reading of the ordinance is set for June 11th.
We are working to learn more about the surprise resignation of Orange County Fire Chief Otto Drozd. A source familiar with the decision told News 6 there was no indication Drozd was pressured to resign and the decision was amicable. He released a statement reading in part, "We are a better fire service organization today than when I joined and have many capable professionals within our ranks to carry the work forward with passion and commitment." Drozd had served as chief since 2012 and will officially leave the job on May 31st. Now, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings has named James Fitzgerald as the new fire chief. In a letter to the Board of County Commissioners, Demings said Fitzgerald will be confirmed on May 7th to allow for a smooth 4-week transition.
More Democrats are calling for impeachment following the release of the special counsel Robert Mueller's report. The president says he's not worried about the fallout. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is discouraging Democrats from making the demand. Pelosi sending a note to her fellow members saying the president can be held accountable without impeachment hearings. Meanwhile, Democrats declined an invitation to see a less redacted version of the Mueller report. Republicans are getting their first look.
To not come here and take advantage of the Attorney General and his offer, to me, says that they're not more worried about what's in the report. They're more worried about actually scoring political points.
In Pelosi's note, she also calls Democrats to continue investigations into the president's finances and potential obstruction of justice. At the same time, President Trump is suing House Oversight Chairman Elijah Cummings to block a subpoena that seeks years of the president's financial records.
Today, the Supreme Court announced it will decide if federal job protections can prevent workers from being fired for being gay or transgender. Lower courts have been split on the issue. The justices will hear 3 cases to determine whether the provisions within the Civil Rights Act extend to the LGBTQ community. The Trump administration does not believe the law currently includes those protections. LGBTQ rights supporters say this Supreme Court decision will be critically important as they seek broader protections. A decision from the Supreme Court is not expected until sometime next year. Well, babies in the hospital are among the most vulnerable patients.
So a hospital in our area is using a new piece of technology to keep them safe. It kills the germs on the items we all carry around in our pockets every day. We'll show you how it helped get results for the health of a group of newborn quadruplets coming up. Tom?
Not a lot of cloud cover in Central Florida tonight. Not looking for a whole lot anytime soon either. I will be right back to pinpoint the heat. Just how much warmer we're going to be in the next few days and when rain does make a return.
And a one-of-its-kind program in Florida is getting results for a group of college students. Hear how it's preparing them for the future. You're watching News 6 at 5:30, Getting Results. We'll be right back.
Florida Hospital is now Advent Health. The same doctors you know, the same care you trust, caring for your body, mind, and spirit. Live with Matt Austin, Ginger Gadsden. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells. This is News 6 at 5:30, Getting Results.
It is a huge week here at News 6 to drive change and get results for the safety of everyone on Florida's roads. Both the State House and Senate have distracted driving bills that may get full votes, but there are major differences between the two proposals. The Senate's bill would make Florida a hands-free state. That's a big jump. While the House version only focuses on texting and driving, which some say can be a little harder to pull people over for. So if both bills pass, lawmakers will come up with a compromise bill before it then goes to the governor's desk. Now, we need your help to get results on this very important issue. A lot of people ask how they can help. Contact your lawmakers if you feel strongly about this. Let them know that you want tougher laws when it comes to distracted driving. We have details on how you can contact state senators and reps at clickorlando.com/driving change. Their information is in there. There you can also find the details on those particular laws, and you can hear my testimony to lawmakers too.
Well, as outbreaks grow, measles cases are approaching numbers we have not seen in the United States in nearly 2 decades. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reporting more than 626 cases in 22 states now. That's including cases right here in Florida. This is already the second highest number of cases reported since the virus was declared eliminated in 2000. Doctors on the front line say this outbreak is not showing signs of slowing down anytime soon. It's affecting adults and children alike. Symptoms look like the common cold with a runny nose and dry cough. Those infected will also get tiny white spots inside their mouth and cheek. Now, most people also develop a skin rash.
Parents don't really understand the risks of measles because they haven't seen measles, because it has become such a rare disease. But measles does have very serious complications. 1 in 20 children with measles get pneumonia, which, by the way, is the most common cause of death.
Now, doctors recommend people get vaccinated and go to the doctor if you notice any of the previous symptoms. Well, any parent who has spent time in the hospital NICU knows there is a lot that goes into the care of our tiniest little patients.
Yeah, morning anchor Kirsten O'Connor introduces us to a family inside the NICU who's thanking technology for getting results for their health.
1 bundle, 2 bundles, 3 and 4.
Right, our story doesn't seem to be the typical one.
The Moore family is growing.
Julius, John, Charlotte, and Betty. They're all my sweet babies.
Along with 3 older siblings, this mother of 7 says meeting her quadruplets was a surreal experience.
We did IVF with our son Solomon, and we had 2 frozen embryos remaining that weren't necessarily the best quality, so the doctor recommended that we transfer both of them and not to expect too much. Here we have 4 healthy, happy babies.
Like many multiples, all 4 babies were transferred to the neonatal intensive care unit.
They are more susceptible to getting infections because they are born early.
At Winnie Palmer Hospital, a new technology is getting results to protect NICU babies from a big germ carrier most of us carry around in our pockets.
In this day and age, we have so many electronics we're connected to our phones. We want to make sure that those phones are clean because you're at your baby's bedside.
Every visitor to the NICU places their phone in the Clean Slate machine. It attacks bacteria using UVC light in under 30 seconds. Nurse leader Joanne Vano says it's cutting down on infection rates without using harsh chemicals, something the Moore family says has helped their new additions grow healthy and strong.
It's just an overwhelming feeling of gratefulness.
Getting results for your health, Kirsten O'Connor, News 6.
Beautiful little babies there. The Moore family was released from the hospital right after Kirsten's interview, by the way. The hospital helped introduce them to another family who had quads last year at Winnie Palmer. They say that's helped prepare them for what's to come. They're the only ones.
Can you really be prepared for?
You can't even be prepared for 1. I can't imagine 4.
That's great.
By the way, I want one of those in my house. Stick your cell phone in.
You know, we've done stories on how dirty and nasty cell phones are. Your bathroom's probably cleaner than your cell phone.
This is true. Don't ever let somebody hand you their cell phone.
No, it's true.
Hard to say. Maybe.
Okay.
Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells. Hey, man, that weekend was my favorite weekend of the year so far. It was
I
awesome.
was talking yesterday, best Easter weather ever.
Yeah, it was nice.
That I
Don't
can
you
remember.
think? I mean, I can't recall an Easter that was better than that.
No way.
Normally it's either way too hot or it's raining. But this year, perfect.
So good.
Let me take you on over the weather map now. The only downside to having really cool and dry air last this long is that we gobble up our available moisture. It rained cats and dogs on Friday. Remember how much it rained? Big squall line came through, big storms everywhere. It was nuts. It was crazy. And then suddenly we dried out. And over the course of the weekend, it gobbled up all of our moisture. So much so that in Orange County now, our fire danger is back to high. All across the area, moderate danger of fire breaking out. The wind is part of that equation too. We're dry and still blustery. Be careful out there. Things could burn up in a hurry. Almanac page for this beautiful Monday. We did well. Daytime high today shot to 83. That's 1 degree below normal. We have ticked it up from 83 to 84 now for the normal daytime high. So we're starting to edge into that time of year when it's warm and close to hot every single day. Orlando Health Camera right now, news time, blue sky, dry. Look at that humidity. 24% relative humidity with a reading of 81 degrees at news time. Daytona Beach, 76 degrees, humidity 40%, wind from the northeast at 12. Okay, warm spot all day has been Gainesville. They've fallen now from 85 down to 84. But look at this line of 81s all the way from Ocala, the Villages, into Orlando, Kissimmee. Sanford's down to 80, 70s all across Brevard County with 77 the current reading in Melbourne. Wind speed in Melbourne, 10-mile-per-hour wind. Everyone in there, about there, somewhere close or right on top of it. Visible satellite image shows you just a little bit of cloud cover off the coast side and absolutely no chance of rain until we get closer to Friday. Right now with the sweep coming through, there just aren't any radar echoes anywhere in the southeast. Water vapor loop, this orange and black, that's the dry air at 30,000 feet, bringing you that blue sky. As long as the onshore flow continues from the east or northeast, we start to pile up a little bit of moisture on the coast. So a little bit of cloud cover can't be ruled out. By Wednesday, little passing clouds, high and aloft, but no big deal. Ridge of high pressure is firmly in control until Friday. Your overnight low tonight, 52 Ocala, 57 in Leesburg, 58 will do it right here in the city. Beautiful, clear, and cool. Here's tomorrow.
Your forecast brought to you by Hudson's Furniture.
It's another beauty, mostly sunny. The daytime high is 85. Check out the week ahead. 85 does it for tomorrow. The overnight low will be 62. By Wednesday, we're back to normal 85, then awesome on Thursday. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in time for the weekend, scattered showers are rumbling back.
All right, Tom, thank you. Hey, this coming weekend, it's your chance to join the next cast of the hit reality show Survivor. It's in its 1,000th season.
I was just thinking it's 80th year.
Feels like it. Still good, though. Casting call will be held this coming Sunday at Victory Casino Cruises in Cape Canaveral. If you think you can outwit, outplay, and outlast, the casting call runs from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. To read about eligibility requirements and fill out the forms you need, head to clickorlando.com. Look for the link on our homepage. A lot of our production crew here usually helps out with that.
Oh yeah, they have some good
And they
stories.
say it's
about some of it,
fascinating, and there's always a couple of real players who come from that too.
Yeah, I want to do a Where Are They Now? Get the people from the first season.
That would be good. That'd be very interesting.
If they're all dressed.
Yes, definitely. Hey, graduation day is fast approaching for college students around Central Florida.
Yeah, but one group is getting recognition a little early. They are part of a unique program here in the Sunshine State. We'll explain how it's getting results for their futures.
Plus, conservation controversy on Earth Day, a historic home trying to go green. Coming up at 6, why it's causing preservation problems.
Today on the Morning News, we told you about the new device that could help the thousands of kids who suffer from ADHD.
Coming up tomorrow, the push to bring the World Cup to Orlando, the $1 million payout supporters hope will help the city get results.
Gotta watch before you go. We'll see you in the morning.
So be sure to download Florida's Fourth Estate from wherever you like to get your podcast. This week, Matt and I are sharing the worst pieces of career advice we've ever received. And
Oddly enough, Ginger gave me my worst advice.
it's available on Stitcher, Google Play, and Apple. You can also find videos of all of our podcast on clickorlando.com/podcast. That is not true yet, anyway. Well, News 6 wants to thank everyone who helped us get results for domestic abuse survivors and their pets. Over the weekend, the 9th annual Pause for Peace walk helped raise $62,000. Now, that total includes the more than $12,000 raised during our phone bank. Just a couple of weeks ago, Justin Wormuth and Eric Sandoval hosted the event. All the money raised goes to the pet shelter at Harbor House of Central Florida. It helps them care for the pets of domestic violence victims and survivors. You can also leave abusers, they can leave their abusers without fear that their pet will be hurt. Many times that's why people stay in an abusive relationship.
And money will go to a lot of good.
So thank
right
you
there.
for doing that.
Yes, we appreciate it. Well, the countdown to graduation is on at UCF.
Well, today a special group of students were recognized for making it to this milestone.
As we like to say at UCF, go Knights!
Yeah, these students are the first graduates of UCF's Inclusive Education Services Program. It's an initiative unique to UCF, the only college in the state with a program for students with intellectual challenges. It provides these students with college experience while preparing them for the workplace.
I learned everything here on campus. I do RWC here, I teach Zumba. I'm a SCA, it's called Student Government Association. and do the Lexington mission.
I think for us, it's been a long time coming. I think our involvement with UCF is so far-reaching, and we're so grateful. I just want to thank UCF for giving us this opportunity.
All 13 students received their graduation stoles and cap and gowns. They will receive their certificates May 3rd. Congratulations.
It's an incredible
we
program.
are all proud of
Yeah.
them. That is awesome. Lisa Bell is here with what we're working on at 6.
Coming up tonight at 6, it is the top story on clickorlando.com right now. Viral video showing a man dressed as the Easter Bunny involving in a fight outside a downtown Orlando comedy club. Tonight we are learning more about what happened from the Easter Bunny.
I was just going in to break it up, but he kept hitting her. So then that's when I made it my problem to, start, hitting him as well.
I think you'll like the Easter Bunny even more. What he says he saw a man do to a woman that started all of this. Also caught on camera.
Your Jeep dealer. Live, getting results. This is News 6 at 6.
Breaking just into the newsroom moments ago, we learned 4 cars were involved in a bad crash on the 429. You can see it from the sky. FHP says 1 car crashed into another, caused a chain reaction. 2 people were flown to ORMC. 1 person is in critical condition. Everyone else is expected to be okay.
Now at 6, viral video showing an Easter weekend fight featuring the Easter Bunny.
This man deserved it. If I have to be arrested for this, to prove a point that this shouldn't be happening, then so be it.
What he saw happen that made him get involved.
And a SpaceX setback. We're learning about the accident potentially damaging the spacecraft that's expected to return astronauts to space from our coast. This is News 6 at 6. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. Less than 2 weeks after SpaceX launched its huge Falcon Heavy rocket on its first commercial flight, the company suffered a setback over the weekend. Its Crew Dragon capsule was hit by an anomaly during testing that will most likely delay the capsule's first crewed flight to the International Space Station. News 6's James Sparvero joins us with the latest on the accident and what's next.
NASA and SpaceX still aren't answering questions about the smoke seen for miles Saturday at Cape Canaveral. The Crew Dragon, previously on pace to become the first spaceship to launch astronauts in Florida since the space shuttle, suffering a setback. It happened during a test.
We know very little about what SpaceX is calling an anomaly, but I think what most people are referring to is an explosion.
Something went wrong. We don't know the details.
About the accident, whether Dragon is a total loss, and what this might mean for the mission with astronauts.
Next in line is pretty exciting.
Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley were going to catch their ride to the International Space Station on the Dragon as soon as this summer.
Obviously, with that vehicle, we think, destroyed, the in-flight abort test certainly is going to slip, and with it, we think, the first piloted flight of this new capsule.
Suddenly tightening the race between SpaceX and Boeing after the Starliner's latest delay. Boeing and United Launch Alliance won't be flying astronauts until at least November.
It looked as though SpaceX was pulling ahead significantly, and maybe the upside is it makes it more competitive. We got us a race now.
A video recorded at the Cape, which appeared to show the Dragon being tested and then exploding, was posted to Twitter in a low quality, and it gained about 300,000 views before it was taken down at some time today. NASA and SpaceX have not verified that that video was credible. At NASA's Kennedy Space Center, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results News 6.
James, thank you. You can read more about what's next for the Crew Dragon after this past weekend's failure at clickorlando.com. Well, a fight involving the Easter Bunny, and it was all caught on camera.
Someone dressed up as the Easter Bunny. This happened last night near Saks Comedy Lab on Orange Avenue in downtown Orlando. That's where we find News 6's Vanessa Ariza. Vanessa, the guy in the suit said he wasn't trying to continue the fight.
Not at all, Matt. He said he was out here with his friends enjoying a Sunday fun day. He noticed the man and the woman. He said he came over because he was trying to help the woman. Little did he know that somebody was just a few feet away recording his every move. The man behind the suit is Antoine McDonald.
I was trying to help an African-American lady who looked helpless at the time.
He and his friends were downtown last night taking turns wearing an Easter Bunny suit. his attention was drawn to this man and woman across the street.
The guy was just basically, I don't know if he was bullying her or what. So then I see him spit on her, and she starts hitting him and everything.
His intention, he tells us, wasn't to continue the fight, but to end it.
It broke out. The officer came up, and that's when the officer told me, he was like, what was it? Let me see you doing this again, I'm gonna arrest you and the bunny.
No one was arrested, and everyone was free to go after police arrived. McDonald said he would do it all over again.
Spit, hit, anything involving a female, I'm not gonna allow that.
As for the suit that caught everyone's attention,
I don't think the bunny's going anywhere. After the fight, the bunny caught a couple of scratches. We're gonna have to get that repaired, honestly.
and this is something McDonald said he wouldn't believe in his wildest dreams how quickly all of this spread. In fact, he said he just moved here maybe within the past month. So he said that bunny suit will probably be coming out and making more appearances, considering how much attention it's already garnered. Live in downtown Orlando tonight, Vanessa Araiza, Getting Results, News 6.
Vanessa, thank you. A 14-year-old shot and killed the day before Easter, and now deputies say it was not random. Grief counselors were at Memorial Middle School today to help students and staff members cope with the loss of 14-year-old Anthony Reed. This is a photo of him given to us by his family. Deputies were called to an area near the intersection of J.R. Street and Starbright Drive near the Mall at Millennia in Orlando. Shortly before 6 in the afternoon on Saturday, they found Reed shot. He was taken to the hospital where he died. News 6 spoke with a family friend who wants the violence to stop.
We're just so sad to see things like this just keep happening over and over again. It's just a sad thing. 14 years old, the kid had just started living. We just got to come together and just love each other like we used to.
Authorities have not identified any suspects or a motive. If you know anything that can help deputies, you're asked to call Crime Line. And just hours after that shooting, deputies in Flagler County say a man shot another man at a gas station. They released these photos of the suspect. Deputies say 2 men and 2 women got into an argument at the Circle K on Moody Boulevard in Bunnell. One of the men shot the other man. The victim was taken to the hospital in stable condition. If you recognize that man in these photos or know anything that can help deputies, call the Flagler County Sheriff's Office.
Well, caught on camera, a suspect nabbed by police with the help of a canine. Officers say it all started with an attempted carjacking. Here's body cam video of the arrest. Sanford police called about a carjacking near the Country Club Drive and Jefferson Boulevard area. It was at 1:45 this morning. A woman told police her husband was in front of the house working on his truck when the suspect, later identified as Montarius Burton, jumped into the truck and tried to drive away. She said Burton pulled her husband out of the truck when the two got into a struggle. She tried to help, and that's when Burton ran off. Officers later found him here in this wooded area near a lake. New details in a deadly crash. We're told the driver will likely be facing charges. One man was killed, the other hurt. Troopers say the driver was driving northbound on Landstar Boulevard last night. That's near the Orange Osceola County line. He lost control and hit a pole, then crashed right into a tree. Troopers say the passenger died at the scene. The 19-year-old driver was rushed to the hospital. Right now, we're told his charges are pending. We're now reading the apology from the city of Mount Dora for the actions of their police chief. John O'Grady is accused of making a racially insensitive comment at the Mount Dora Heroes Foundation golf tournament regarding how all Hispanics are, quote, the same. City manager Robin Haynes writes, the remarks are in no way reflective of the city's values, principles, and ideals. Please accept my sincere apology on behalf of the city of Mount Dora. Right now, O'Grady is on paid administrative leave. Our push to drive change is reaching lawmakers at the state capitol.
Both the State House and Senate have distracted driving bills, and lawmakers could vote on them as early as this week. But there are key differences between the two proposals that could bring the issue to a standstill. The Senate's bill would make Florida a hands-free state. The House's proposal focuses specifically on texting behind the wheel. Right now is the time to call your lawmakers to get results for safety on our roads. We've posted their contact information at clickorlando.com/drivingchange.
I will be headed to Tallahassee in the morning. We'll see how things go. There's still a lot left to happen.
You never know.
Yes. Well, the Magic with their backs against the wall.
Coming up, a preview of the team's must-win game tomorrow. Tom?
A lot of heat all across the eastern half of the country. It is 78 degrees in Chicago and 73 in D.C. I'll be right back to pinpoint the lows in Orlando and Central Florida, and then look ahead to tomorrow and when rain starts to come back.
But first, today is Earth Day, and while many are doing what they can to save our planet, one local homeowner is getting some serious pushback for trying to go green. Find out why next.
You're watching News 6 at 6, getting results for Cocoa Beach, Orlando, and all of Central Florida. We will be right back.
Florida Hospital is now Advent Health. The same doctors you know, the same care you trust, caring for your body, mind, and spirit. Live with Matt Austin, Lisa Bell. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells. Sports with Jamie Say. And special reports from the investigators. This is News 6 at 6, getting results.
He says he wants to help do his part and preserve the future of our planet.
A man in Orlando wants to make his house fully renewable by installing solar panels on the front of his house. But the Historical Preservation Board for the City of Orlando says no. News 6 reporter Nadine Yanis joins us now live from City Hall in Orlando with how the city is responding. Nadine.
Well, Lisa, to set this up, you're going to see in the video that this homeowner's house faces the sun. And he says the only logical place to put these solar panels are right at the front. But the historic district says that the solar panels don't match the houses in that Lake Cherokee neighborhood. And because of that, they aren't letting him do it. He says it contradicts the city of Orlando's goal of going green, ironically, making this decision on Earth Day.
Do we not care about the planet?
It's a question Orlando's Cy Pazam is directing towards Orlando city leaders.
Do we not care that Buddy Dyer had created this program where he wants to be 100%, using renewable energy?
Questioning on Earth Day why the city council passed recommendations by the Historic Preservation Board to stop Pazam from putting solar panels on the front of his home.
Well, you see, this is where the sunlight is.
Where he says would be the best place to have panels to become 100% renewable himself.
Now they're arguing that it's an eyesore, but the only place that the science shows that they should be placed is in the front of the house.
They're glassy and shiny and, have a real impact.
An impact, the Historical Preservation Board says, on the aesthetics of the cherished Lake Cherokee Historic District. Though Pazam showed the city this petition of neighbors who wouldn't mind.
It's not a popularity contest. It's what's best for the historic character of the district.
That doesn't mean the city isn't allowing solar panels at all. In fact, the city offered Pazam other places to put them.
So we were, in a sense, saying shift them to different locations.
One, that'll be significantly more expensive, but two, it just doesn't work.
Giving up on his fight, he says, to do the right thing.
And I'm sorry, Buddy Dyer, tried to do what you asked. I thought I was doing the right thing.
And the city wants to be clear. State statute would prohibit the city of Orlando from allowing this guy to put solar panels on his house. They said he can, it just can't be in the front. The city also says that Pazam could have appealed this decision within a week, but he never did. In Orlando, I'm Nadine Yanis, getting results, News 6.
Nadine, thank you. It is a test to see if you can outwit, outplay, and outlast all the others. If you're up for the challenge, here's your chance. Survivor is searching for its next group of contestants. They are hosting a casting call this Sunday at Victory Casino Cruises in Cape Canaveral. You can audition from 10 until 2. We have all the forms and the requirements you will need on our homepage. Just go to cliporlando.com. And it seems like each season there's always someone from Central Florida, so I think your chances are pretty good.
They're always there in the end. Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells, man, I'd vote you into my tribal council after that weekend.
Wouldn't you,
No
though?
kidding, yes.
I'd be tough to vote out on this day.
Yeah.
Now,
for
maybe
sure.
by Friday, I
Different
could get
story.
some thumbs down.
You're out of here.
Blow my torch out. You never know. Take a look at what's going on tomorrow, though. Tomorrow, I'd have lots of friends in Volusia County. 59 degrees at 8 a.m. in Lake Helen. Tomorrow by noon, 79. Daytime high in there at about 84 degrees tomorrow. Brevard County and Mico, we've got a reading of 64 at 8 a.m. By noon tomorrow, 76. Come the late day hour, 79 to 80 degrees. Should be almost picture perfect in Brevard County. Southern Brevard's going to have a great day tomorrow. We had a pretty doggone good run over the weekend, and today, primo. Low this morning was a very chilly 54 degrees. 61's the normal. Daytime high We went back to 83. Normal high is 84 degrees, so we just missed it by that much. Orlando Health Camera, temperature reading at news time is holding at 81, but I keep going back to this because it's amazing. Relative humidity is only 29%, so it's super dry. Feels fantastic. As soon as you step out the door, I would call it exhilarating. Even beachside, look at the blue sky. Temperature reading 75, wind from the east-northeast at 10 in Daytona Beach. Other coastal temps, Flagler County, Palm Coast 75, into Brevard County, Titusville 75, Southern Brevard and Melbourne 76. Temperature readings across the interior, you just saw Orlando at 81. Kissimmee's at 82, up in Ocala 80, Sanford at news time 78. Here's that wind speed I was just talking about. 10-mile-per-hour wind in Daytona Beach, 9 in Cocoa, 12 in Melbourne. In Orlando, we were calm last hour. Now we're at 8 miles per hour out at OIA. Visible satellite image, there you go. That's the only cloud cover I have, and there's just not much to it. Back out west, nothing happening until you get all the way over to New Orleans. Radar tonight is clear and dry and will stay that way until at least Friday. Not looking for any rain on Tuesday, none on Wednesday, none on Thursday. Tonight, clear and cool. Wouldn't call it cold, but cool. Not as chilly as this morning. Dry, sunny, and warm Tuesday through Thursday. Then by Friday, scattered storms begin to return. And when they do, our rain chances will be about 40%. For now, though, all this dry air you're seeing on the water vapor loop maintains control. Ridge of high pressure is in control, so it's going to be hard to shake it loose. Overnight tonight, no worries. A few clouds tomorrow. Then through the day on Wednesday, even a few more blowing in at the upper levels of the atmosphere. But big rain? Nada. Lows tonight, mostly 50s. 52 Ocala, 54 in the Villages. Talking about a low tonight in Orlando of 58. Here's tomorrow.
Your forecast brought to you by Del Air Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's a really good looking day. 60 degrees at 7 a.m. By noon, 81. The high is 85. Check out the week ahead. 85 does it for tomorrow. That's 1 degree above normal. Then on Wednesday, same. Thursday, 87. Some of you could approach 90. Come Friday, 85 with a 40% chance of rain. Saturday's high, 84, rain chances 40%. And the same on Sunday.
All right, Tom, thank you. Well, after Hurricane Irma, state lawmakers took action to get results and save lives.
So News 6 is investigating whether nursing homes and assisted living facilities have made those changes to protect your loved ones.
And when the state dropped this on them, it was catastrophic.
News 6 uncovers what local counties are saying about who's really ready, and new at 7, why one safety expert says some of those homes are making dangerous decisions. Also, some special needs students are celebrating why their upcoming graduation at UCF is a first of its kind and how it is getting results and changing lives. That's ahead at 7.
Such a cool story. Ryan is here, and the Magic really backs her up against the wall now, it's safe to say. Huh?
It's not impossible being down 3-1, but after what we saw last night in game number 4,
feels impossible.
It begs the question for sure if there is any magic left ahead of tomorrow's Game 5 in Toronto. All eyes on Toronto tomorrow. See if they can do it.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for spending some time with us. The CBS Evening News is next.
You can always get the latest on our website, clickorlando.com. We'll be back at 7 with more local news. Have a great Monday night.